Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shuhaida binti Samad. My metric number is 273303. Now I will talk about introduction, the background of the British Home Store. Okay, British Home Store is one of the largest department chain in United Kingdom for over 50 years. In late 1920s, this company was evolved from a variety store which is focused solely on a price into a department store with a strong emphasis of clothing. The business start to branch out into a furniture, electronic, entertainment, convenience store, fragrance and beauty product in the later year. BHS was founded in year 1928 by a group of American entrepreneurs and now has 186 outlets that sells clothes, hardware and giftware. There are 135 company-owned stores and 51 franchise. It had 74 international stores in 18 different territories and employed 11,000 staff at that time in year 2016. It was mostly situated in High Street or shopping mall. In year 2000, Sir Philip Green purchased BHS for 200 million euros and convert the business from public into a private company. 2 years later, he purchased Arcadia, a big retail empire that include Burton, Dorothy Perkins, Miss Selfridge, and of course Topman and Topshop. Sir Green announced that he considered to sell BHS because of losses after the several years. The sale of BHS to the Retail Acquisition Limited was announced on 12 March 2015. PwC has been auditor of Tavita Group since 2003, which include Tavita, Arcadia and BHS Group and its subsidiaries as of July 2009. In 2014, audit of BHS and Tavita Group, the Financial Reporting Council exposed a lot of mistakes made by the PwC and Denison. BHS and Tavita Group management rules should act as an agent to prevent the fraudulent activities in the company. As a result, directors and managers are entrusted individuals appointed by the company's shareholder, and they serve as the shareholders' eyes and ear in order to protect their interests. The management and director of BHS and Tavita Group should follow the professional standard so that they do not collaborate with any interested group such as a provider, banker and even to extend the auditor's responsibility will compromise. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yasir Besad. My metric number is 273745. Today I will present or talk about care and skill of auditors. Okay, the first skills that needs by auditors is healthy skepticism. Healthy skepticism is important to the auditors in performing their job. Skepticism is consists of constant mind and critical assessment of appropriateness and adequate evidence. Next, the skill that important to the auditors is critical thinking skill. Critical thinking skill is opposite to a creative thinking skill. This way of thinking is suitable for auditors to ensure that they will step outside their own judgment and biases and reach one conclusion. Lastly, communication skill is very important nowadays. Good communication skill helpful when auditor delivering information to their client. This to ensure that client receive accurate input or right information to avoid miscommunication and will make a good decision. Okay, now we move on to independent auditors. What is independent auditor? Independent auditors is auditor that not have any interest or relationship to the client or company, because to avoid any misrepresentations and fraud occur. This is vital or important to auditor not having any interest in the company or client, because to ensure that management of the company only present valid or true information about their financial statement. Okay, nowadays there are many tricks to become independent auditor. First is self-interested. Okay, self-interested is independent is too dependent. Auditors is too dependent to the client to gain benefit from it. Next is trust-street. Trust-street is auditors to believe to their clients without making any proper test on their financial statement. Lastly is advocacy treats. Advocacy treats occur when auditors suddenly involve or actively defending their own client interests. Okay, now we talk about facts that arise during audit. First fact that arise during audit is there are some companies do not disclose any transaction occur during year. This probably happen because they want to cover their inappropriate transactions or want to run from paying tax. The second fact that arises during audit is lack of applying requirement of general accepted accounting policy by the auditors and companies. Some companies do not really exercise an appropriate accounting policy that are stated by MFRS and GAAP. Lastly, account receivable amount in the company also arise when auditing. This matter happen because failure to confirm enough receivable. They might overlook any credit transaction occur and forget to record in their accounting data and effect to insufficient amount receivable. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nur Natasha Atira binti Muhammad Sharifuddin and my metric number is 272975. As for trade and safeguards, the evidence mentioned before, it is in line with the meaning of familiarity trade and in line with the Code of Ethical Standard. Tendering audit firm argument in favor, it may reduce the perception of a familiarity trade by potentially increasing the rate of audit firm turnover. It also breaks the assumption that the current auditor will automatically be reappointed and encourage the audit committee to assess auditor performance. Argument against idea retendering takes time and money. It is not clear if this burden will be offset by any additional material benefits to audit quality. As for rotation audit firm, argument in favor, new staff will bring a new perspective to the audit which will be advantageous. A new audit company, for example, will be more skeptical and does not want to overlook any material risk. It will be more objective and there will be no need to acknowledge the client's previous accounting. Argument against idea, a new audit firm lack of knowledge of the client create a higher risk that they will miss something important. This increased risk overweight any perceived benefits of a fresh look. The complexity of many public interest entities mean that it can take a number of years for a new auditor to become sufficiently familiar with the business model, the business risk, and the entity staff in order to conduct an effective audit. Going concern assumption. Neither major act of misconduct is about the audit opinion going concern is totally incomplete, inaccurate and misleading. The financial statement for BHS Group stated that the going concern assumption was appropriate, but in fact, the Tarbeta No. 2 Limited has been continuously supportive in terms of financial support. In addition, it has very significant deficit. As for auditor responsibility in relation to going concern assumption, true and fair view is the basis for an independent auditor's responsibility where Mr. Dennison and the PwC audit engagement team was not abided by. The PwC engagement team was the body formed to involve in the final stage of the BHS audit, but their responsibilities has been delegated to the audit manager. At this stage, the auditor will review the evidence obtained during the audit together with the final version of the financial statement with the objective of affirming auditor's opinion. But lack of supervision has been given at that time, where the PwC audit senior management and Mr. Dennison are in charge of. This has led the auditor to give such a biased view of the BHS audit opinion.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Zahid Omar Zulkifli, matric number 27248, and now we will be discussing about the financial British home stores. Based on the financial statement was provided by BHS, the audit report was classified all of the transactions are correctly and true and fair, despite the fact that they will lack a standard cash flow statement, which was a need to the public, to the internal and external user. The lack of standard cash flow will impact all account readers where they cannot understand the company liquidity, solvency, and the financial dexterity. A similar problem arises in relation to related party transaction. Intra-group transaction between parent and subsidiary companies provide perfect cover for profit shifting and tax-motivated transactions. They obscure accountability, solvency, liquidity, and profit. So there is a need for the fullest disclosure, but the FRC accounting standard facilitates opacity. PwC could have tried to remedy the absence of the crucial information by invoking the true and fair override, and instead that BHS publish a cash flow statement and make the required disclosure. In the absence of information, it could have issued a qualified audit opinion. And next we go to the need to look at before and after 2014. The style of problem at BHS financials and going concern problem existed long before the audit 2014 audit. This is evident from the profit or loss and negative equity reported in the company's account. BHS pension scheme had been in deficit every year from 2003 to 2014, with the exception of 2008. In view of the continuing loss and negative equity, the company was unable or unwilling to address the deficit. The unqualified audit opinion given by PwC suggests that PwC acquiesced with the management strategy of not eradicating the deficit. PwC's inability of unwillingness to raise red flag cannot be understood by scrutinizing the 2014 audit alone. And next, we go to the BHS link with other companies. According to BHS 2011 annual report, the director agreed that filing the financial statement on a going concern basis is sufficient due to the business ultimate parent company Taveta Investment Limited's continuing financial help. This assertion appears in the 2012 and 2013 financial statement. However, the company had negative equity. All of this business audited by PwC. The following are highlighted from its audit financial statements. So PwC routinely accepted assurance from a parent company with negative equity that it will make the financial report to BHS, which itself have a history of losses, negative equity, and pension scheme deficits. Next, we go to the income statement of BHS. There are record revenue of 65 million euros for the year ended 2014. And next, the cost of sales and operating expenditure is 745 million euros. And the loss of 69 million euros had recorded on 2014. Cost of sales and operating expenses. Total cost of sales is the 695 million euros and the operating expenses is the 15 million euros. Fact about revenue, and the first fact, they are failure to recognize them and determine that risk. And the second is process of audit. The revenue was done by the computer at truth. And the third is the detecting irregularities in Taveta Investment Limited consolidated account. And the fourth is the auditor did not subject any of the Taveta's group income. The auditor did not use the concept of materiality.
Hello, I am Nur Anis Suraya and my metric number is 275761. Will continue my part, which are the audit report. First and foremost, I will explain about the audit and non-audit work performed by British Home Store. Based on the annual report of British Home Store, PricewaterhouseCoopers or PwC, who act as accounting firm in United Kingdom, stated that Taveta Group paid €355,000 and €2,859,778 for audit fees and non-audit fees respectively in 2014. From the payment, it shows that Taveta Group committees has paid non-audit fees higher than audit fees that been charged similarly for 3 years. As a result, Ethical Standard 4 warns against contingent fees for non-audit work as that can lead to conflict of interest. Next, I will explain about the compliance with ethical standard that need to follow by BHS. Under Auditing Practice Board Ethical Standard 1, An auditor should conduct the ethical standard while audit the company financial statement to add the quality, reliability, and maintain the credibility of the financial statement that consists of objectivity, integrity, and independence. The first one is objectivity. The auditor needs to not compromise professional or business judgment that include bias and conflict of interest to provide all matters fair in accordance with the objective attention. This ethic is important as objectivity is a fundamental principle of ethics that need to be conducted by an auditor to obtain reasonable assurance and provide true and fair view of the financial statement. Second, integrity. An auditor needs to practice honesty and equal trading as integrity requires all professional accountant and auditor to be transparent and truthful in all situations. Ethics of integrity is important as an auditor provides service to take trust from the public to rely on the financial statement. However, this ethic was breached on BHS company when Mr. Dennison as an auditor tried to hide the facts regarding the audit's completion date by falsifying a statement on PwC electronic audit file. In a nutshell, to summarize the audit deficiency report of BHS, it shows that independence is the pillar of the auditing profession. Independence in auditing perspective implies self-sufficient in both mind and appearance. Therefore, independence leads an auditor to carry out his roles and responsibility with objectivity and integrity in compliance with international auditing principle and practice. In addition, the international auditing deficiency have resulted in the dissolution of cooperative in past year that can be looked on other cases such as Enron, WorldCom, and Tyco. Last but not least, to having a successful audit, an auditor needs to be independent and following the legal procedure and steps that been set out by International Standard on Auditing or ISA in conducting audit to avoid any conflict of interest. For that reason, it shows that each profession needs to have and follow the set of legal principles and code of ethics that guide a profession to discipline and perform the duty successfully. I think that's all from us. Thank you.